Welcome, everybody, to our zkVerify Online Hackathon, our second one. This one's pretty exciting. I got a couple really talented people to help me out on this one, which is a big relief. I got Armin and Milica, both experienced DevRel, and these are the main technical people that are going to be helping y'all in this hackathon. So I've got a short presentation to go over and talk about what it is that we're working to accomplish, but we'll do a quick introduction, just 30 seconds. Milica, if you could just talk a little bit about yourself and what you're looking to do with this hackathon, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Rolf. So welcome everybody to our hackathon. I'm a PhD candidate in zero knowledge proof research topic. As a ZK DevRel, I intend to make smooth developer experience, engaging developer communities through hackathons like this one, Hacker Houses, tutorials, and education, and improving our documentation. And any suggestion is welcome from the community. Everything you find out during the hackathon, please report back to us. So as well, I'm doing courses and educational videos and creating that, creating articles, and I'll be responsible for our presses and conferences through presentations, hackathons, and workshops.
Wonderful. Thanks, Milica. Armin, can you give us a quick introduction and what you're looking to do with this hackathon and zkVerify?
Sure. Hi, guys. So I'm Arman, and welcome to the second edition of zkVerify Hackathon. And I will be helping out throughout the journey of this hackathon. I will be helping out with your technical bugs, debugging every stuff, and also we're writing a lot of blogs as well as making a lot of tutorials for you guys to help you out throughout the hackathon. We're also building a lot of different tools for you guys. So keep hacking and make some awesome products out there. So we are looking into to onboard a lot of devs, proper devs, who can build a lot of proper product ideas using zkVerify and basically to scale the whole ZK. All good.
Thanks, Armin. And I guess I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Rolf Versus, so growth lead at zkVerify. Was co-founder of Horizon back in 2017, one of the first ZK protocols, and it's still going strong. So with the ticker Zen, and so this is our new project, zkVerify, which is a ZK proof verification platform. So designed to integrate all sorts of different types of ZK systems into one fast and inexpensive verification platform. So I've got a overview presentation, and we're going to go through some slides. It's not very many, but some of the words really help in the discussion of what we'll do, and both Armin and Milica can jump in and talk about these things, and I'll be tossing questions your way to make this more interactive. So our first online hackathon, which y'all are welcome to go check out, was for any type of Web 2 or Web 3 idea, and we had some really good ideas. We had great participants. We had really good support. We paid out the prizes, and so now we're ready to take things to the next level. One of the things that we didn't get as much the last time was some Web3 integration. So we're talking to some of our Web3 partners. We partner closely with Arbitrum and with Open Campus, which makes EDU chain a Orbit chain on Arbitrum. And they liked our first online hackathon so much, they said, hey, let's do this and see if we can get people to build on our chains together. So that's the purpose behind this hackathon right here. And so here's a quick brief with some details. Yeah, it's a little bit wordy, but that's okay. Here's our agenda. So this is what we're going to go over and talk about today. So we already introduced part of the team, and I always like to talk about the purpose. We're going to go through the sponsors, kind of what the boundaries are, what the limitations, what you got to do to work within this technical stack, where you can find resources, the recommendation for different types of apps to build, and our support paths. So let's go on to the first one of these. So we did the introductions before, and you'll be seeing a lot more of Milica and Armin in our support channels of Telegram and Discord and our hackathon. We'll be doing more live streams, and we'll put these onto the DevFolio sign-up site. and just a little history on the team behind Horizon Labs, and you'll be able to interact with some of these folks as we get the hackathon started. So Horizon Labs is building zkVerify for the zkVerify Foundation. So the three of us are working for the foundation directly already. And as I mentioned, the first project was Horizon, then a ZK-based sidechain bridge Zendu a few years ago that allowed Horizon to have a UTXO main chain and a EVM sidechain. So a lot of experience in the EVM space. And then, of course, now we're talking about zkVerify, and that's a new platform. Okay, so our team's been working really strong, and we've got a lot of signups. This is going to be a competitive hackathon. So you guys got to start early, learn your stuff quickly, ask your questions. We've got Armin in India, and we've got Milica in Europe. So we've got time zone coverage, we got language coverage, and I'm going to say that Milica, Armin's a little bit ahead of you on getting signups, because if you look at the top cities and top countries or top educational institutions, we got a lot of folks coming out of India. Love our Indian developers, so this is going to be very exciting. But I was talking to Milica earlier this week. She knows a lot of people in the community, and got a lot of her ZK friends as judges. So Milica, I'm gonna toss this your way and say, what are you doing to get some more competition for Armin's Indian guys and girls?
Yeah, I'm totally not surprised. There is a lot of talents in India, so I'm happy to see all of those submissions. So that's really great. So yeah, like I'm happy that we have such a big interest, and I'm working forward to have some of more ZK talent in our pool.
Yeah, absolutely. And Armin, you're so I don't know the Indian educational institutions as well as you do. I'm assuming that these are pretty strong institutions here. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. So we have a lot of different colleges out here, mostly into the engineering side of things. And so there are a lot of popular ZK communities and Web3 communities around that colleges. And we're trying to onboard everyone into zkVerify.
Okay, awesome. And so let's see, one thing I didn't show, and I'll show that later on, is the judges, because the ZK community is small and growing, and so there's a lot of leaders in the space, and both Milica and Armin know a lot of these leaders in the space. So that's one of the reasons I'm really excited to be working with y'all on this hackathon. Okay, so the purpose. I always like to talk about what are we trying to accomplish. So one of the things that's held us up, and we can talk a little bit about this, is at least one of the things that I believe, and what we're trying to figure out with this hackathon is there's a lot of ZK proof research that's been done over the years since the first BN128 curve got put into Ethereum as a precompile. There's been a ton of research in different application areas. And one of the things that I was talking to Milica about a few weeks ago was, and maybe you can talk to this a little bit more, is that some of the ZK development is siloed into different areas. Like you got the Cairo, and you got Noir, and you've got many different ZK VMs. And by having one place where all these different proofs can be verified, not only does it bring together, but it allows people to compose proofs of multiple different proof types. But Milica, what do you see as some of the most active different communities and teams creating these new types of ZK proof technology?
Well, if we're there to help them verify the proofs, and we accept those proofs, I think zkVerify would be a great one station where all the proofs can be verified, like all those that we support. So yeah, like there is, from what I see, it's very difficult to switch from different languages, from Circom to Noir to Cairo, and then like we have fragmented communities, yeah, where there is like different proof types in different languages and different chains. And yeah, that's something that I saw with my colleagues in the community, that they're having difficulties switching. So yeah, that's something that's working problem in ZK generally.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, hopefully we can help bring all that together. One of the things that I've thought has been some of the holdup is when over the last year, when I talked to people about doing ZK proofs, most of them said, well, it's slow and it's expensive and it's really for infrastructure for ZK rollups. And so I think we're trying to change that, and we're definitely going to be able to change that. But Armand, in talking with the developers that you've talked with so far, what are some of them excited about being able to build once you reduce price and increase speed on the verification?
So to answer out that, so the whole ZK thing started back with Circom as the main DSL we started out with, and then we shifted to Nova, and right now we are more into the ZK VMs. Basically, ZK VMs are promoting they can onboard any Rust developer into the ZK ecosystem, right? So it basically opened the doors for every Rust developer out there to make some verifiable dApp, right? And as you said, like the biggest bottleneck for the whole ZK ecosystem was the price and the slow proving time and all that stuff, right? So with all the advancements that we have done, so all the research that we have done and all the prover networks to say, right, with all the GPU based systems coming in with SP1 and all these things, the proving time is like getting very, very fast, right? So because of all these things coming together along with products like zkVerify, it's becoming a full on ZK stack which developers can build on.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, that's really helpful. And that reminds me that what we have right now for this hackathon with zkVerify, we don't have every single ZK proof to be able to verify out there right now. We do have Groth16, which a lot of the people have designed with over the years on two different elliptic curves. We have the RISC-0 ZK-VM, and that's selectable of version 1.0, 1.1, or 1.2. 1.2 is the current version. Armin, you mentioned the succinct SP1. We don't have that yet. We have some teams developing the verifier for that because like with RISC-0, we do a Stark verifier. So I don't know if you all know, but when you do a Rust guest application in a ZK virtual machine, that it first creates Stark proofs and then it wraps it in a Groth16 so that the Groth16 proof can be verified on an EVM. But of course, zkVerify is not an EVM. It's got custom verifiers for each type. So our verifier is a Stark verifier, which means there's much less computation that has to be done on the front end. Also means that you can run the ZK virtual machine on your Mac, which it's tough to do if you need to do it for Groth16. So, and then Noir. Noir's a really cool way to design proofs, and we have the UltraPlonk verifier. There's one of our specific design partners that requested that for us. We have some other verifiers as well that can be done. I'm just highlighting these because these are the most general purpose. But like we work with space and time, so we have a special space and time BLS 12381 curve verifier. Not thinking anybody's going to be doing space and time for this hackathon, so didn't mention it. A couple of other verifiers that are in the pipeline that we're pretty excited about. Again, not for this hackathon, but for future ones that we're going to do is Plonky 2, Microsoft Nova, and Halo 2. So we're really looking to get all the new technology verifiers in place. Okay. Oh, whoops. All right. So what are we looking to be built? So hinted at this earlier. So Web3 and an EVM app integrated with zkVerify. And it's got to be built on one of our sponsors' chains. The sponsors are coming in and getting us money that we can provide as awards. So part of the deal is we've deployed the zkVerify attestation smart contract onto these two chains test nets. And these teams have stackable prizes. It's got to use zkVerify for proof verifications. And they have specific focuses for their stackable awards. And we'll go into that a little bit more. But Arbitrum has two different ones where you can do a Solidity EVM smart contract or you can use Stylus. And Armin, you talked earlier about people wanting to develop in Rust. Well, if you want to write your smart contract in Rust or C++ or one of the other languages that Stylus supports, you can do that on Arbitrum. And they're actually looking for people to do that. Open Campus is part of Animoca Brands, and we're going to have Open Campus on our live stream tomorrow, talking more specifically about what they're looking for in the AI and decentralized science area. But these are two of the most rapidly growing areas. And so I had a question for you about, you think there's a lot more people that are learning Rust than Solidity these days?
Yes, so there's a very major chunk of developers right now who are more into the Rust ecosystem, who are trying to build a lot of apps around Rust. And the prime motive is like, because Solidity is just consolidated only to EVM-based chains. But if you learn Rust, so there's a lot of ways you can build your own L2s, L3s, along with many developer stacks out there, right? So you have Cosmos ecosystem, you have a lot more developer ecosystem through which Rust is very, very popular, right? So basically, there's a lot more interest on the Rust side of things, and the Arbitrum stylus provides a very good way to basically make your Rust code EVM compatible, right? So that's a good thing.
Okay, neat. Yeah, my son's in a computer science program at a university here in the United States, and as far as I can tell, they're not teaching Rust there yet. So he's learning it on his own. But universities are always a little bit behind, except for the PhD programs. They're on the bleeding edge. So Melita, what are some of the newer things that you're seeing people do with ZK, and where should we be thinking about for the new stuff that everybody's interested in?
So it's only my perspective. There are other people that are also doing PhD in zero knowledge proofs research field. So for me, I'm very excited for Binius, and I cannot stop talking about it, honestly. They have this Tauro fields, and there is more that I wrote about in my blog, if someone's interested to get like a high level perspective of something. But they're also partnering with Risk Zero, and possibly will be able to verify their proofs as well. So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be fun. We saw a lot of people that are new to ZK, but they're able to step right in and get a proof with a ZK VM, and then they get excited about that, and then they go and learn some of the ideas behind ZK to make things faster and more performant and stuff like that. So this is really a growing area, and it's a place to be in. I always like to be in the rapidly growing area because it's more fun. You get the people that want to try new things, and as the industry grows quickly, you become one of the OGs, and you get to interact with a lot of folks about it. Okay, so all right, let's talk about prize tracks. We're not going to go over this too much detail, but this is. It is important to people. So the main prize track, sponsored by zkVerify, of course, we're doing the hackathon. It's $10,000 in USDC, split into 4 different prizes. So we have the criteria of what we're going to be judging by. You saw the number of people that signed up. This is going to be really competitive. So this is kind of a broad category. We have some definite suggestions of things that we're looking for people to do. The basics of it is, it's got to be a Web3 app with a front end. It's got to be a good smart contract. I said EVM. So EVM smart contract. Now it can be Solidity or it can be Rust if you're doing Arbitrum on Stylus or one of the other languages. It's got to integrate with zkVerify. And it's got to use one of these 2 chains, Arbitrum or EDU chain. I know, Melissa and Armin, that y'all have been interacting with people, asking questions about, what do we want to see? Because some folks are like, they really want to know what we want to see because they think that gets them an advantage in when it comes to awards. it's good to ask. It's good to find out. We're also looking for kind of what people are doing creatively. But did y'all have any thoughts about what people might wanna build? We'll go. I'll scroll through the blog post and we can see some of the ideas later on. So we'll go into more detail. But just big picture, what are y'all excited about, or what do you think people might want to lean towards?
Yeah, well, if we're like in the position of both mentors and judges, which is a bit challenging. Usually, hackers, mentors, and judges are three different categories. So yeah, like I don't know, maybe it's been partial for me to give some ideas, but let's say that for example, what I've seen mostly in hackathon is that people are concerned with privacy the most, and that they want to use zk for that purpose. So maybe like something around that topic is what I've seen that people are asking me the most when it comes to hackathon now.
Okay.
So
Armin,
so like as Malika told, there's a lot of zk devs trying to build some privacy-based applications, right? So throughout this hackathon, I would love to see some of the applications or submissions which are a intersection between privacy and DeFi, privacy or gaming. Like there are a lot of projects which are looking to do on-chain gaming stuff using zk, right? So they're like private state transitions, private DeFi, and and also there's like AI coming up, right? So there are a lot of zk inferences that we can do on AI, right? So there's a lot of different things that trying to do, and we would love to see how the projects come up.
yeah, I'm in agreement with that. So in some of the previous ideas, obviously we think about this a lot. Where are the zk apps going to go? I think that there's some government identity things like the Aadhaar in India, perhaps something with a non-Aadhaar. I'd love to see. So privacy in transactions is one thing, and cryptocurrencies for transactions. But one of the things that always comes up is private voting, and private voting is a little bit scary. But sometimes you can say private polling because you want to know that. Perhaps you want to know the demographics behind something. And I think maybe, and I'm not sure, but maybe you could do a private poll using a non-Aadhaar, and you could say, well, I want to do a poll of all women aged 20 to 29 in this one city in India, and they could prove with their non-Aadhaar that they meet this demographic, and they can answer the poll, but then nobody knows who they are actually. And I don't know, maybe that's a silly example, but I don't think anybody does that. And if you're using an EVM in Groth16, then you're going to be, it takes a bit of computation to do it, and it's going to cost you 5 to 10 cents to verify each. So doing a poll where it costs 5 to 10 cents every time someone wants to do an answer, that's kind of on the edge of profitability. But when we go to production, zkVerify is going to have a lower cost of probably less than a cent for Groth16. So price is always part of a design factor. So I don't know. So we there's private polling, but there's also AI, and I think AI is huge. Do either of you have an opinion on what we could do with zk with AI?
Yeah, sure. Like we can with AI, for example. I don't know, for research that I do, it's like, for me, it's very, very, it's very important, very, very, very important that I know that sources are good. So, for example, I would need to know that it's from, let's say, C lists, something that I'm reading and redigesting, or to have confirmed models that I'm using currently. So something that can prove without me going through everything for the AI, that would be great.
Okay, nice.
So more to that,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So more to that, right? Like I've been exploring the ZKX AI space for some time now. So right, so there are a lot of different tools around the AI and the ZK verification, right? So there are tools like eZKL, which makes a Groth16 proofs, which you can basically check the whole inference of an ML model to say, right? And also there are parts like zkTLS, which also generates a Groth16 proof, which you can verify through us, right? So basically you can make end-to-end pipelines for ML models. So also that's a very big AI field, and there's a lot of privacy thing that's going on. So yeah, that's a very big field to Gotcha.
Oh, cool. That's really helpful. I'm glad that with Open Campus, they really want to focus on AI, which leads us into the next one. So Open Campus, and so one of the reasons brought up AI was that one of the stackable prizes from Open Campus on the EDU chain, and Open Campus, we'll learn a bit more about this tomorrow, but they really want to get education into the Web3 space with verifiable credentials, with different ways of providing learning to people, and different ways to demonstrate that people have attained a specific skill, perhaps through a non-traditional way of learning. Like our children, we homeschooled them. So that's a non-traditional way of learning. But at some point, they have to demonstrate that they have the different skills to do things. So so one of the prize tracks is an AI Web3 application. Now, the other is decentralized science. What do y'all have to say about decentralized science? I'm interested.
Yeah, well, it's if you take a look, for example, at medical research, that people are very, they're very sensitive about their medical data. It's like one of the top sensitive data that you have now for the people. And if there would be like a possibility to use zk to verify that's the person, that they can volunteer their data without revealing their full identity, that's something that we can say it would be definitely decentralized science. And of course it would, since we don't have this exposed persona with all of their medical data, it can definitely accelerate the medical research. So that's something I'm really curious to see. Very excited about it.
Yeah. How about you, Armin?
Yep. So the resize stuff is like really cool, and it's been picking up very fast in like the last 1 year. And so, like as Monica told, like so there's a lot of medical data that's need to be private, and this and also like we need to do data sharing to basically do some kind of computation on top of that to make some research worthwhile, right? So basically using zk, it gives us like a way to make your private data accessible for research, as well as like it also like gives a way for like funding as well, right? So basically there are a lot of new researchers, junior researchers, they find difficult to get funding in the normal world. So through chains like EduChain and all this stuff, like, and using zk, they get a more transparent platform to put on their research, get some funding, and start working on.
Nice.
I'm
Okay.
not
Yeah.
sure that, but you can use the smart contract as when you are giving your data away, that you earn a small portion of the research. Nowadays, I don't think there is any kind of incentive like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And also by having science done on the blockchain, you can link to previous papers. You can see which papers are dependent on other papers. And there's some issues of AI making up research and publishing it. And so sometimes when one of those research papers gets shown to be false, anything that's linked to it can easily be found on the blockchain. So that forces people to do science right way, publish their results properly, and have it replicable science. So I think it'll take the science to a higher level as well. So yeah, huge initiative. Okay, and the next sponsor track is Arbitrum. Of course, a lot of people know Arbitrum, really one of the huge L2 rollups there. And they gave us they provide us a grant to integrate with Arbitrum and work with them. And so part of the grant idea is that we would get developers to develop applications on Arbitrum using zkVerify. And so there's two different options here. One's the regular EVM contract using Solidity, and the other is using Stylus. And so we already talked about this, but you got a lot of different options, both for experienced Web3 developers and for people coming into it. If you're new to Web3, if you're new to ZK, you can come in, but you happen to be good on Rust, you come in and do a Rust EVM on Arbitrum, and you do your Rust application in a ZK VM, and then you've got something that's competitive. So we're going to skip to the next one. And we're going to start talking a little bit about the resources. I'm going to step through these quickly. We'll make the all this information available, but my main point is this is a really well supported hackathon. We've got pretty much everything on the Devfolio mini site. Registration is open. There's a link to our hackathon blog post, and I'll show you some of the information on the blog post that you'll find interesting. The award descriptions that I just showed, judge and speaker profiles, events. So this is one of the events. We're going to do other events, and scroll down on the main page to the FAQs. There's a ton of ideas. There's a ton of links to previous hackathon projects using ZK. Next big resource is zkVerify JS, and that's a toolkit to make zkVerify easier to use in JavaScript. There's a bunch of documentation tutorials. So our documentation tutorials are good, and right now Armin and Melitza are in the process of making them much better. So I'm so excited about that. So over the next few weeks, you're going to see these this documentation and tutorial continue to improve and add additional information. We've got example code in 2 different GitHub locations. We're moving it all to the zkVerify GitHub to process. Some of it is still on Horizon Labs. So we'll go on to the, unless y'all had something to mention about this, I was going to go on to the next slide. All right. And so technical stack with links. So we've already got all the verifiers that are listed, the supportive proofs, the version numbers, the block explorer, a proof counter with the explorer linked to the specific proofs, the zkVerify JS, tutorials, example code, and a testnet faucet. Where can you talk? So, and find team members. So we got Telegram, we got the Discord with a specific hackathon channel. All the videos are on our YouTube. There's some good videos from our last hackathon explaining in much more detail how the zkVerify JS can be used, how you can integrate with Web3, with Groth 16. And the latest information, looks like my link got cut here. We posted first to X. And so that's where you're seeing this live stream as well as on YouTube. Okay, so special notes, and I'm going to ask y'all to talk about this a little bit before, but we already know some things that are a little bit tricky that we are definitely working to make easier for folks. But when you do a Web3 integration, you need both an EVM wallet connection and transaction, and you need to be able to pay for the proof verification on zkVerify. So the recommendation is that for this hackathon, you use Subwallet or Talisman, which can connect both to an EVM and to zkVerify. In the future, we'll abstract away the zkVerify so folks won't even know that they're using it on the back end. The EVM will need to check the smart contract for verification receipt. So the timing on that is there's a 6-second block time on zkVerify, and then there's a block for verification and another block to send through our attestation. Through our message passing system to send the receipt to the EVM. So there is a little bit of time to wait. We are working on getting that time down too. And you'll need 5 of our test token to register with zkVerify, your initial registration. And so the faucet is 1 per day. We're working to get the faucet higher, but we've got plenty of test token ready to go, and we're happy to transfer it. So these are some of the little specifics that we've run into, but y'all have both used the zkVerify and gone through everything. Are there other things that you want to add that are just notes for people to look out for?
Yeah, guys, please, any kind of troubles that you have when registering, that you need some tokens, you're not sure what the issue is, please just jump into our DMs and we'll be there to help you, either with Faucet or anything else.
Yeah, guys. So you can just go to the quick start, look how the things work, and just understand how the whole workflow with zkVerify works with, like how to generate the proofs, how to get it on zkVerify, then how to basically call the smart contracts on any EVM chain, like Arbitrum or EduChain. And then basically, like if you have any questions about any of the proof verification things, how to register your verification keys, how to verify your proofs, anything, just DM any one of us.
Awesome. Okay, good. Well, I got this last slide, and one of the things that we learned from the last online hackathon is it's a new tech stack. You have to learn something new. We know we're asking you to learn a new tech stack, but don't wait for the last few days. It's not just you can come in there, develop a quick Solidity app and put it in. There is a little bit of learning that you have to do, and that's one of the reasons we're doing this hackathon. Is we want experienced developers to come in and look at it for the fresh set of eyes and tell us, hey, it looks like this is missing, or I can't find this, or I'm having trouble with this. All that information actually helps us to make a better product. And then really want y'all to use your creativity to come up with different ideas. Certainly, look at what people have done in ZK research in previous projects and get some of your ideas from there. I'm always excited about gaming applications. Games. One of our demonstration is a very simple board game, Mastermind. But also think about, as you're building your applications, we don't have this ready yet, but we'll have grant programs, we'll have incubators. We want to take these ideas and make them into full-fledged applications. And so some of the upcoming live streams and discussions that we're going to do is not only going deeper into Arbitrum and Open Campus, but we're also going to talk about maybe some of the non-technical stuff, some of the business side of things, how you get people to use your applications, what you can do to get people excited. Because one of the big opportunities in the crypto space is for you to build a business that, build an app, build a business, build something that brings you revenue. We're not doing this just for fun. We're doing it because there's a whole new set of tools that we can use. Like, Armin, I know you're at zkGrama right now, and Milita, I know that you want to be at these different startup things, and you've gone to a lot of them before. To me, that's actually one of the biggest opportunities, because zkVerify has a DAO, Horizon has a DAO. I think decentralized autonomous organizations is a different way of people being able to gather together. We see this with Balaji Srivenson's network state idea. Basically, you can have a lot of people gather together with different ideas and organize in a different way than organizing than a country or a company that's all about profits. But you can organize around completely different ideas, but then these people have to gather together in these places. And so if y'all could talk a little bit about your experience with zkGrama and the different zoo events before, I think that's one of the big unrealized opportunities in the crypto space.
Very true for that. Like here at zkGrama, so it's all about like cross-pollination of ideas. We have a lot of people from different domains. So there are a lot of scientists, researchers who are looking into how to do DeSci. There's a proper week on AI where we will have a lot of researchers and a lot of projects who are doing a lot of great AI work. And then we have the cryptography week where there are a lot of cryptographers coming in, a lot of different ZK, MPC, FHE, all those guys. And the initial few weeks was on the governance, as you said, and also on the public good side of things. So yeah, so it's a very good place to mingle with all those people and like cross pollinate your ideas. So basically, like I know zero knowledge. There is someone working on DeSci. How we can work together and make a real product which can be useful for both ecosystems, right? So that's a very good place to find new ideas, create new projects, and do a lot more.
Oh, that's great to hear. And Melita, what's your experience in the past been with these groups? Positive, new ideas, great people?
Yeah, well, so Arman, you actually described what I felt 2 years ago, when Zuzalo started in my beloved Montenegro. So I'm so happy that this original idea of Zuzalo retained, and it's replicated into in other zoo events. So it's so great to have this different weeks where you have different experts, and then you can exchange your ideas and thoughts with them. And that's how, for example, my article, like ZK in medicine, how that started, because that was inspired there by a longevity week, I think. So yeah, it's a great thing to have. I think we lost a lot especially during COVID. We lost a lot of this human connection, and definitely communities like Zuzalu and then Zuconnect, Zugrama, and everywhere we went. It definitely helped people bond and even create new companies and projects. Like for example, ZooPass, Xerox Park was definitely one of my top project, the ZooPass. And like they still have the frogs and they still have the hat. So yeah, that's something that's so great. I'm very thankful to Vitalik and Miloš for creating and organizing Zuzalo and all the Zuzalo team that happened first in Montenegro and then pollinated throughout the world.
Well, I think that's a great way to finish up. Appreciate you both sharing that. And it's going to be an exciting month here as we go through and do the hackathon. So looking forward to working with y'all and talking with everybody and seeing what kind of projects get developed. So we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Keep on hacking.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
All right.